Tim.
Yes.
What are you thinking right now for a topic?
Right now.
What's your topic?
I
was making a fun little play on words for people who listen to the whole show.
It's real hard because all I'm thinking about is that damn video, and it's amazing.
Which one, Anaconda or the other one?
The Dingo.
Because you got a
big booty.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's his.
Big booty.
It's me. It's
his.
Booty. From the block.
So, my topic tonight is how young is too young to date?
To date.
I need to make that clear.
That's a good
clarification.
So right now, based on each of us.
Yes. Do you have any set rules? Now pretend you guys. Everyone's
we're not in a relationship.
No relationships. It's just.
So in this instance, for my own clarity, my wife has died, but she has died in a peaceful way, and we are okay with it.
Yeah,
that is the only
we're
way,
okay with it.
That is the only way I'm allowed to date.
Everyone's
ever.
okay with it.
She was flying this experimental plane that had it had a nuke for every one of the American cities, and there was a tesseract on it. And for some reason, she didn't just land it or just smash it into the ocean and jump out at the last second because she had crazy ass abilities.
Right.
That's how she went down. But she was talking on the radio to you as she went down. It was
because
like,
maybe
go.
at some point that she didn't know she could do that until the second movie, where for no reason at the beginning of the movie he just does that. He just jumps out of the freaking plane.
Yeah, well, he learned. Your wife, I mean, not he.
Yeah, my wife learned it.
Your wife learned that that's just something you could do.
But how do you learn that? You just got to do it, right?
Well, yeah, you screwed up once, I guess, but you just think that you knew you could put it down.
Annihilation. Wouldn't you try it?
I really liked her in the elevator scene.
Oh, that elevator scene.
She did good.
Elevator scene was good.
All
right. Your wife's dead, but it's okay.
Yes.
I'm 32.
God, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
30
years old.
25.
So, Tim, for you,
so young.
our ages are probably about the same. No, I'm kidding. I can't date anyone. I probably couldn't date under 25. If
25, so 10 years.
10-year gap is probably as far as I can go. Because once you start getting 25 is when you start. Most people start. I feel coming into their own as far as like who they want to be, what they want to do, at least for the next few years of their life. And that's someone that I think I could start to grow with, or at least get behind, in front of, underneath. Whatever. Help support with my hands. 25. I'm saying 25. Yeah.
Okay.
That's as low as I'll go.
My answer is a moving target. My brother's age. Okay. So my brother is 2.5 years younger than me.
Okay.
So for me, he's 22 right now.
Yeah, so 22.
So 22, but next year he'll be 23. Next year he'll be 24.
Interesting.
I don't think I can go younger than my brother. Now, there's been cases where there's been people that are my brother's age, but a couple months younger than him. I'm okay with that. So they can be younger than my brother, just not a year younger than my brother.
Okay. 2 years isn't that bad. I don't know why you're making that to be the...
Well, so here's my thing. You have to realize that I'm still pretty young in the grand scheme of things.
You are.
So to me, high school wasn't that long ago. So when I think about it, I'm like, when you're a senior and there's a junior, that's a big deal. It's like, damn, there are generations behind you, you know? And as you go on, like, I feel like that gap gets much wider, where it's like people in your age group are... It's a lot more years in there, you know?
Sure.
So I've always had this thing of my brother's age shit. But it wasn't until I thought about this topic today that I was like, would I go younger? Like, what if there was someone that was super awesome and...
Well, yeah, obviously it depends on the person. If I met an amazing human being, I'm like, I don't really care how old you are.
That's the big thing for me, especially not being in the situation for real. You know what I mean? Having a girlfriend, yada, yada, yada. Is that, I don't have a number in my head. I've never thought of this. I've never sat there and been like, oh, man, I would never date someone below this. You know what I mean?
What if she was 18?
Then we start... I mean, is she cool? She's a cool 18-year-old?
Oh,
that's
like, we're hitting it off, and we're trying to...
Yeah, it's...
People are going to think you're scummy.
She's 18.
People think I'm a scumbag no matter what, because I am a scumbag, best friends. Anyways. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've never thought of this, literally.
Really?
Until right now.
I feel like this is a thing.
Here's the thing here's the thing for you, though, Tim. It is for you.
You're
that gap
young.
will widen as you get older. Because, as you hit 28... 23, 24 is still okay. 30, 23, 24 still. You see what I'm saying? Like, as you get a little older, like you'll hit that gap. I think 10 years once you hit your 30s. Yeah. Probably as far as you want to go in either direction.
But so for me, it's like when now I look at 20-year-olds, I'm like, you look like a little kid.
My point was this though,
but my thing is, I don't even know any 20-year-olds. I don't even know what a 20-year-old looks like right now. Yeah. So I remember when you started, you looked like a baby, but that was how many years ago?
Should I type in 20-year-old?
No, you should not type in 20-year-old to Google. I don't know. I mean, for me, it'd be a weird thing if you were under 21 for sure, because then you can't drink. We can't go out and get a drink somewhere. That's a weird thing.
All of our lives revolve around.
And then if we're thinking about it, I remember what I was like, in 21. And what I was like in college, right? Like I wouldn't be hitting it off with a girl that's in college right now, I'd imagine. Yeah. Grad school maybe or whatever.
See, but remember when you were young and everyone just kept, like, all the old people were just like, oh, like, you're a little kid, you have so much learning to do and blah, 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 like whatever. And you're just like, fuck you, I hate you, you're wrong. Now you look back at it and you're like, oh, well, some of them were right, some of them were assholes. But
that's generally the way life works.
Exactly. But I think for me, it's like, looking back on it, I'm like, well, I don't know if I could be with an 18, 19, 20-year-old.
You can't.
Because
you can't. No, they're not mature. They don't.
They're just not mature.
No offense,
like,
18,
for me,
19,
like 22, even going forward, even if it wasn't my brother's age, I don't know if I could be with a 22-year-old now.
You're talking about a relationship, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying into a hardcore long-term relationship, yeah, I mean, think about what you were like at 22.
Yeah, that's
different for you. Yeah, that's a different ball of wax.
I don't know if I can do 22.
That's a big thing though, because first of all, I'm just like, Portillo looks fucking tuckered out.
He's had a rough day of protecting the house.
Doing nothing. He's been sleeping.
He's
all
been
day.
protecting the house.
But that was the thing I was thinking, is that like around Tim's age is when I stopped, in retrospect, being embarrassed. In retrospect, if that makes any sense. Like, think about yourself when you're 20 and you're like, oh, what the fuck was I doing? You know, like 22. Oh, what the fuck was I doing? 24. What the fuck was I doing? 25, 26 when I started like looking back and being like, I think I was all right. You know? And so that's what I think about with a woman that, you know, that kind of post-college age, a couple years later, pretty essential, because when I was in college or getting just out of college, I was a fucking idiot. Yeah. I'm still looking back at some of the things I've done even the last year or two, and I'm like, like I have a lot to learn. So if I was in that state, then certainly that's not uncommon, and therefore you don't want to be with a person like that. You want to be with like a crazy person, you know, or a person that's still finding themselves, or a person that doesn't really know who they are. So the mid-20s is probably a pretty good place to stick, and that it gets creepy when you get older, because you could say that number never moves at that point. That you're 50 and a 25-year-old, but you know what?
There was some, I forget who it was that put out somebody put out a study. You know where I'm going with this, where it was like they asked men and women throughout the ages what age do you find yourself ages. And women's tracked with them, and men's
was always like 23.
23. And like it was like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, it's not that weird, I guess, but you got to think about it in terms of sustainability, not in terms of your sexuality. You know, like
well, that's the problem. Is most guys they try for that sustainability. They try for that first relationship. For whatever reason, it fails, and they think, oh, I'll just reset the clock with the 23-year-old, because then at least I'll have those first 10 to 20 good years like I had with my first wife, and she'll take care of me when I'm, you know, in diapers, but she'll only be 40, which is. It never works out.
It's so
just
weird. I
try to make your relationship.
I always wonder in those situations, like we always look about, like, why would that guy? You know, that's so gross that that guy's with that woman, but why is that woman with that guy? And I think we always default like, well, it's money or some sort of material gain. But I don't think so. Like, I think there's also something about a woman, and I don't know because I don't have obviously the woman's mind, but
or body, unfortunately.
You know, unfortunately, but
he's kind of
there's something. I think women like older men. And men like younger women, and it's interesting how. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but I'm saying that seems to be like a theme, and like it's interesting that they conflict.
Yeah.
Like universally.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a conflict. You know, like I'm not saying that's the same for every woman and every man, but it just seems like you always talk about the man with the younger woman or the woman with the.
It's a
older
stereotype. Yeah. I mean, it's a cliche. It's the guy that wants to feel young again. Oh, she makes me feel young. Like Alec Baldwin with his 25-year-old or 26-year-old yoga instructor that's now pregnant with his child. You're like, I mean, good for you, Alec Baldwin. You're losing weight, you're feeling healthy. It's great, but at the same time,
trimming down. He's getting trim.
Yeah, she's getting him down. She's getting him down. But you know, you had Kim Basinger, so it's like she was gorgeous, and you couldn't. You know, it's just something about that fell apart. It's sad. I don't know.
Well, it's more than looks of relationships.
Well, let's flip it now.
All right.
How old would you go? Like, what's the oldest you would go?
See, normally I wouldn't go again over 10, but there's something about Helen Mirren. That just, I thought I saw her walking down the Embarcadero the other day. I was like, is that Helen Mirren? I almost crashed my car to go out and say what's up to her. Probably wasn't her.
To say like, what's up to her.
What's up,
like,
Helen Mirren?
Helen, what's up? And if anyone knows that Helen Mirren was in San Francisco, please let me know, and I will just shoot myself.
That's the Tim Burton's wife, right?
No, that's Helen Bonham Carter. Helen Mirren is the woman that played the Queen. She was also in the movie Red with Bruce Willis. She played the older woman who was like the assassin, but she's just a badass.
How old is she?
Oh, she must be in her late 60s, early 70s.
Okay. Damn, Nick.
She's hot. Look up a picture. She's hot.
See,
I saw her in person on
60s, 70s.
I saw a picture of her. I mean, I saw her in person, and she was gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Again,
I feel you, buddy.
Never thinking of this, I immediately jumped to who do I think is attractive? Who is an older woman? I jumped to Diane Lane, and she's 49 at the moment.
Hot
Diane Lane.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Oh my God, watch Unfaithful.
Unfaithful.
Holy fucking Jesus, Unfaithful.
Makes you want to cheat on your wife.
Great
Greg,
moment.
am I right?
Totally.
Am I right?
Yeah, right here, big dog. I don't agree. But no, I remember Unfaithful. That it was one of those movies you were talking earlier about sneaking into Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Me and a friend finished a movie and we're like, oh, we got time to kill because it was one of the things where we went out with a group of girls. They went and saw a different movie and they had like another 40 minutes in their movie. We're like, all right, we'll jump in something else. Like, oh, Unfaithful. I'm like, I hear there's sex in that. You're like, oh man, maybe we can catch some. We walked in. We're in high school, by the way. And we walk in and if you've seen it
2 years ago.
Spoiler for Unfaithful. We walk into the scene where Diane Lane is getting it from behind in the hallway of the apartment building, but in front of a picture window. So it's just like blinding white sunlight. So we come in at this moment and literally we clear that part where where like it angles down and you come out, and literally the entire theater of adults just turns and looks at us, and we just look at them. We just back out slowly, just like we are not supposed to be here right now. But what a fucking hot movie.
Just as an update, Helen Mirren is 69.
Up. Let me see her. I don't know what she looks like.
Also, shout out to Dame Judi Dench.
Dame Judi Dench, big time.
She plays M in up until Skyfall.
She
Spoilers.
was how old are you? 35.
I'm 34.
34.
This is Helen Mirren right now.
69. So she was 35 years old when you were born.
Yeah, she's a good-looking lady.
She was 35 when you were born.
Yeah, buddy. Look at. I mean, this woman is just gorgeous.
He's trying to find a good attractive.
She's just gorgeous.
No, she is hot. She's definitely hot for an older woman.
I mean, you need the for an older woman part in there, though.
No, you don't. She's hot in general.
I'm putting this in there.
But it's getting to the point where that's going to fall apart in a few years.
I'm just saying, look at how good. I mean, she has aged well. She keeps her body in good shape.
I would have loved if you crashed the car to speak to this woman. This would have been the best thing
like,
ever.
you're an idiot because I'm a huge celebrity, and I'd be like, no, but you have to have coffee with me. And she would have been so endeared by it.
Come on the GameOverGreggy show.
And then I would have been like, we are friends forever, and maybe we might have a small thing on the side. It's not a big deal.
The answer to your question, by the way, is right now is 40.
Interesting.
I think that's
10 years.
Yeah, I think that's a good place. I mean, it's so funny because a 40-year-old and a 30-year-old are in such different places. You assume. Then it's just an assumption, but if you're getting in with a 40-year-old woman, maybe she's divorced, maybe she has kids, maybe not, maybe she never, there's so many unanswered questions that relieve so many what ifs and could be's.
I'm just smiling because of the grin you have. You have the shit-eating grin as you like spin this tail over here.
See, for me, I think my answer is like 2 years.
Jesus, Tim, your window is so
it's
small.
A small window, but like to me, I think 2 years older than me is like the perfect
age,
the perfect hit right there, where it's just like that is what I'm looking for.
And it's always that way. It's perpetual. So when you're 30,
I think like
20
years
years
older than me.
32.
That's a good mentality to have. Go for the older woman. Go for the older woman. Not 2 years. You can broaden it out a little bit.
More than that? Older
than
that?
Oh yeah,
I don't know, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, because here's the thing. Like,
You're
thinking about it, I think 2 is what, like, to me, like
Tim,
my ideal out of nowhere.
Planner. You are thinking way too long term. You can't do that. You just have to meet the person, and if they're
exactly
2 to 3 years, because I know where your head's at. You're like, well, when I'm 40, then she'll be like 42, and then it's like I gotta throw her out. You don't have to do that. You can have a good, long lasting relationship with anyone as long as you try at it.
No, I get that. I just want them to be 2 years older than me.
That's weird.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, though. Like, thinking about the 10 years.
You're in your early 20s, and there is such a difference in your 20s between even a year in your 20s is like a decade. Mm-hmm. You hit 30, everything slows down a little bit, and everyone's kind of like a 30-year-old can be on the same level, success-wise, maturity-wise, as a 40-year-old. Doesn't matter. But the difference between 20 and 21, or 21 and 22, 22 to 28 is like a huge margin, in my opinion, at least.
I agree. That's what I was trying to say. Is I think Tim's in the age now where things are starting to even out a little bit.
Yeah. 30 actually after 30 doesn't matter anymore.
I mean, it's interesting to be like 10 years older than me is 35.
State whoever, it doesn't matter.
Like, I can't imagine being with you. You know?
I can imagine being with him.
I am a very sensitive lover. I am attentive. I will take you out beforehand. If you want a bigger popcorn and a bigger DC at the movie, you
want that.
Yeah. It's about having someone that wants what you want.
Yeah. No,
Red Vines, bang. Although they changed the packaging.
Guys, I gotta be honest with you, because you said this to me and it catalyzed a thought in my head that I hope we don't want to give too much away to the listeners and the viewers out there, but we're playing around with an idea of a movie show and doing something maybe next year with going to the movies and talking about new movies and stuff like that. And I like the idea of us just going to the movies. What is your habit at the movies? What does everyone do with the movies?
No. This is a separate topic. You can sit on that till next week. Write it down on your phone.
Sit on it.
That's
a great
That's
a
great one. Put it in the phone.
Put it
I'll put it right up here on my
Bullshit.
calendar.
None of us can remember.
I'll
Kevin,
put it right here in my
I'm
calendar.
going to put it in my phone next to the rest of my
Thank you.
I'm just thinking about that.
It's a great topic. I will talk to you for the next 45 minutes on that topic because I have my thoughts.
I'm sure
we'll
you
go
do.
into it later.
I really have no doubt about it.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, a teaser for the next episode of the Game Over Greggy Show. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Game Over Greggy Show. Remember, each and every Friday, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. You can pick up the MP3 or the video over on patreon.com/kindafunny along with Vimeo and Bandcamp. But if you don't want to give us any money, we understand times are tough. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunny where we break the topics out topic by topic, day by day, every day of that next week.
Greg,
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned this in the beginning because this has been a long and amazing show. I think
It's been a really good show.
This is a really good one.
I meant to say it was worth $1 before we started.
Yeah, this one's definitely worth $1.
Too late.
But I don't know if you
I hope
mentioned
there's some
earlier
guy driving his car who's just like, no, this was
the Patreon
that.
exclusive episode goes live this week.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
So there we go. So
did we decide a day? Do you want to put
no, we don't know a day.
I think we should still put it up Friday, October 31st.
So 2 on Friday?
Well, yeah, but I mean, by this point, oh, wait. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. The Patreon people would be on Wednesday?
Yeah, let's do Wednesday.
Wednesday the 29th? 29th.
Yeah, Wednesday the 29th.
October 29th.
Wednesday?
It says see you next Wednesday. What music video?
What is it again?
It says see you next Wednesday. It's written in blood.
Thriller?
Thank you. There
You're
it is.
welcome.
Nailed
Okay,
it.
so
Fucking
that's
high
like-
five.
Damn.
I
So you
was
hate
thinking
me
much later
until
than
you
that.
need me. You see what I'm saying?
I didn't need you for that.
Anyways, the Patreon exclusive episode. An entire
Wednesday,
episode.
October 29th.
Yes.
4 brand new topics.
Yes.
Only place to get them is on Patreon. Go over to Patreon. Is there a tier for that, or is that just everybody?
No,
that
everyone
was just
gets
a
that.
thing.
If you
Right,
are
that was a
at all
milestone
Patreon
thing.
people, you get
Whether
that.
it be $1 or $3,000, you get that.
So if you want that and you're not a Patreon person, pay $1.
Yeah,
you
good
can get
point.
it.
Good point.
Yeah.
Great job.
If it's $3,000 though, I will do a dance for you the next time we do a Patreon.
And the important thing to point out, if you're
okay.
Well, no, that doesn't count for that one actually.
Tim and
Forget
I'll
it.
work for you.
I was gonna say for the Patreon exclusive content, you'd be able to get to, like the Patreon live stream we did tonight. You'd be able to get, but no, that's $15 and up. So you'd have to get $15 to get that one. So
Yeah.
you should do that if you want. It sounds like a Patreon plug. We'll stop right now, ladies and gentlemen. Until next week, when I will not be here.
Oh, man.
I'm not
Shit's
hosting.
going
I'm giving the
crazy.
keys to you guys. Who's going to be in the 4th chair? Who knows?
It's just going to be the show.
Ding. Ding.
That's the.
See, it's the
thing.
intro song, but I
Oh.
took out the middle
Oh,
ding.
I like that. I like that.
Bloop.
Name this tune. I was like a name this tune kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. It's been our pleasure, Sergey.